Pressure's about the same. It's a Category 2 hurricane moving north-northwest at 9 miles per hour. Really, the only change there is where it is, which is a little more than 100 miles east of Jacksonville. 30 degrees north, right at Jacksonville's latitude. So that's why St. Augustine is starting to get a little less water now because they're past high tide, but also getting that north wind. Jacksonville now getting the same thing, a shift to a north to northeast wind, and that'll work its way up the coast. And that helps out the water situation overall, so to speak, as far as those tides, the high tides, and certainly the next high tide cycle after midnight tonight, that water will be getting pushed out and away from the beaches, even though the tide's coming in. Still some heavy storms popping around the center of the hurricane, Corey, and what is now, this would be the third year out of the last four that we have had a significant hurricane within about 100 miles or less of our coast.
Very close, very close. You know, last year they went around Jacksonville. Florence went to the north, Michael well to our west, and a very similar track to both Floyd and Matthew here with Dorian.
Right, exactly. And so we've got the Lorena Incline in Vilano Beach. And that's an area, of course, that we know gets hit very hard typically in storms like this. And Lorena, now past high tide, but I assume still a lot of water in your area with this strong onshore east to northeast wind, and now a big rain band headed your way, too.
That's right, Mike. And just before you guys took me live, a huge wave went over us and pushed me over to the other side of A1A. And so we're still seeing that. And right now, you can see there's kind of a lot of activity here because the fire rescues here, also the road and bridge department for the St. Johns County area, they're here as well. I spoke to a gentleman with that department just moments before I went live, and he was taking pictures here, surveying the area. They're waiting on DOT to take a look at A1A. I asked him, though, just by looking at the road, if it's been compromised, and he said no. So that's definitely some good news there. But I do want to show you this. Take a look at the force of the water. And one tall tale sign, the water line, all the way back here. I mean, I'm still going to reach, though I'm still not at the water line. All the way up to here, the water's reaching when it's being pushed by the wind on inland. So that's what we're dealing with right here on A1A and Vilano Beach. Also, just a little while before I went live here as well, I saw an entire row of cars here, even some of them carrying a backhoe. And one of the gentlemen out here tells me that what they're going to try to do in some of the areas here is try to push all this debris back out and try to rebuild some of the dune here to try to protect it a little bit. But so that's what they're trying to survey right now. But this is why the road is closed. Look at all this debris. And of course, with the county trucks, they're a lot more heavy duty that can go through here, but you definitely don't want to be driving in any of this with all these huge logs here. And not only logs, but other types of debris from people's back porches here. Look at this. It has nails. Very, very dangerous as well. So all of that is being pushed inland by Dorian. So definitely nowhere near being done. There's another big truck right here passing on by. Different departments trying to help out, and there comes another wave. It's just continual in this area here in Vilano Beach, and it's it's slowed down a little bit, but still, this is what we're dealing with, which is why the road is closed here on A1A in Vilano Beach, just near the Ocean Sands Resort. If you're familiar with this area, we're not too far from the Reef Restaurant. This area remains blocked to traffic. Back to you guys in the studio.
And Lorena, just to reiterate that, the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office tweeting that the north and southbound lanes of Coastal Highway are closed because of that flooding that she's been showing you. And FDOT technicians are on the scene assessing the situation because when things like this happen, they have to come and make sure that the road will be safe once this water passes.
Can't have water rushing by and washing cars off the road, as Lorena was talking about. It helped push them off the road. This is, again, just between basically Guana Preserve and the Vilano Bridge farther south is where she is right now. All right, we want to check.